Welcome to the USA, where everyone needs a gimmick. Evil Dead the series that made Bruce Campbell who he is, which is a B-movie legend and awkward action star, before we saw most awkward action. Evil Dead, though, started as a passion project by Sam Raimi and flew into theaters in 1981. It's not the best film by today's standards, but it's still talked about today by horror fans and filmmakers alike. As a filmmaker, that's right, I'm an aspiring filmmaker. What, you can't tell from this? Or this?
Hey.
Or even this? But as an aspiring filmmaker, I got a lot of inspiration from the first Evil Dead film. And by inspiration, I mean anything from Sam Raimi. Tenacity defeats all opposition. Sam had so many setbacks during production that most would have said, that's it, moving on. But from his own ambition, he pushed forward, and anytime he had a problem, he improvised. Oh, actor can't make it? No problem, I'll be the actor. What, we can't get blanks in time for the shotgun? No problem, here's some real bullets, just duck when he points it at you. Oh, we need spooky sounds for the tape in the film? I got this. Cut, print, moving on. Sam Raimi and the Evil Dead films is what inspired me to work on the film Doorman, coming oh god help. Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness are a weird mixed bag. The first Evil Dead film is the original Cabin in the Woods film with generic, by today's standards, plot points and characters. Creepy atmosphere for creepy atmosphere and gore beyond measure. To some today who are used to the big budget horror films being released all the time, it won't seem like much. But go back to the 80s and this thing will look like goddamn Poltergeist. Which was also released in the 80s? I forget my point. Evil Dead 2 seemed to be a remake of the first one, with more depth and plot added to it. A lot more budget and, oh, insanity, 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 insanity. This film is great, but from the first one, where did this demon spawn come from? Like the first one was semi-campy, but then this one just went all out with the stuff. A horror comedy, if you will, and it didn't stop. Which leads to the Army of Darkness, which...
This is my boomstick!
This progression of films always boggled my mind. It goes from horror comedy, to fantasy adventure comedy. Zam! Don't get me wrong, I love Army of Darkness, but I wish I had filmed my reaction the day my uncle let me borrow all three of these magical films. I didn't have any knowledge in the series whatsoever, and I watched each one after the other. And when I got to this film, gears stopped moving in my head as Franz Schubert's Piano Sonato No. 18 played eerily as I catatonically watched as Bruce Campbell ate himself. What was that? I said. What the fuck was that? These films gave me hope for my own future, as it did for any other filmmaker. All you need is an idea and ambition, and you too can have it realized. And what a dream Sam had. But no one saw what hid mysteriously and sinisterly under the darkness of the lake of evilness. You know, I don't know why I made it sound so bad. I actually really like this film. A lot. Like a lot. I saw it in theaters, not expecting it to be any good, of course, as my cynical high schooler mind was one to operate, but the characters and plot devices really got me. The horror elements and gore were all there. This time around we had more competent actors and a better budget. What's not to love? It won't have the B-movie feel to it, of course, but neither did Army of Darkness and to some extent Evil Dead 2. So I don't see the problem here. Why did fans not like this film? We even got our Bruce Campbell cameo.
Groovy.
The moving camera? The Book of the Dead? Fuck, they made the tree, they made her rape the girl in a Hollywood film in 2010s kept the tree rape of a girl. What do you want, Evil Dead fans? But I understand what they want. They want the feeling we got when watching Evil Dead. They are missing the comedy aspect to the films, which I understand. The comedy here was kind of non-existent. But they were remaking the original, which was a simple horror film with added camp. Is that what it's missing? Camp? Do you want camp? Is that what you want? Well, I'll go camp. It's cold out. I was gonna make a joke where I go outside and camp for a bit, but like, whatever. It's a straight up horror film, and I fucking love it. It's not even just a gore fest, and some parts honestly scare me still when I watch it. And it takes a lot for a film to get a traditional scare out of me that isn't uncomfortable or just straight up annoying. From the opening shot, I knew I was in for something special, and it felt so nice when we finally pulled up to the cabin to meet with these real characters with actual names and depth. Depth being a loose term here, but more depth than the original films. Perhaps it's the detail they add to the film that they don't like. They give meaning to the demons and add some emotion, and maybe true fans just want to see Bruce Campbell with a witty line or two, and lots of gore. But with The Evil Dead 2013, we saw something a bit different from what we're used to. And I'll take anything different over the same hot piece of stale bread I've been getting. The Evil Dead series was beloved because it changed each time, so we didn't know what to expect, to leave us wanting more before we got sick of it. And if the newest film did anything wrong, then I suppose it would be that it went back to a genre that the series already hit, and it also kept this scene out of the finished film, which was the best part of the trailer.
We're gonna get you, not another piece. Time to go to sleep.
And it still makes me mad. As of right now, there's the Ash vs. the Evil Dead TV show going on, and even though I haven't been up to date with it, I have heard some of the gripes, that it relies too heavily on old references and camp, which is the complete opposite of the 2013 film. Which would you guys prefer? And what do you want, Evil Dead fans? What do you want? No one knows what they want. That's the thing. Some will praise the originals and say nothing can live up to their standard, which can be argued as fact. Some, like myself, will love the new film as a straight-up horror that shines bright as an homage to the original, while adding some needed reworking. And some will live for the newest season of Ash vs. the Evil Dead as a nostalgic wonderment of camp gore and comedy. As long as we can all agree on the idea that we should never settle for the same thing over and over again, as the definition of insanity states. In a world of reboots and remakes, rip-offs and film fakes, let us not settle for the worst and hope for the best. It is only us who can deliver that test, and if a film ever wins, we should deliver a cheer, and give our attention to a new one that will be delivered next year. Give us the unexpected, and I'll lead this cinema rebellion. So until next time, clear your schedules, gentlemen. It's my laundry. See, that's my laundry. I don't know why it's in the shot. It's right over there.